Welcome to Littleton Common. I'm Bob Spinozzi.
And I'm Barbara McRae. The Historical Society is planning to have the usual celebration for Patriots Day at 7 p.m. at Liberty Square corner on Taylor Street and Hill Road in Boxborough. You know, I have attended in the past and enjoyed the ceremony, so this time I may bring my grandson.
Now, on Patriots Day, all state, county, and municipal offices and schools will be closed. Most businesses will stay open. The Red Sox will play the White Sox in a rare 11 a.m. start meant to align with the Boston Marathon finish line that's close to Fenway Park. Of course, this year, the marathon has been postponed until October 11th because of the COVID virus. Now, Patriots Day was conceived in 1894 to commemorate the Battle of Lexington and Concord, the first battles of the American Revolution. Many of the towns out here will take center stage with reenactments of those battles that took place in 1775. Events leading up to them are held, and the highlight is ringing the bell that warned the local troops that British soldiers were coming. Now, Massachusetts is not the only state to commemorate Patriots Day. Maine joined in on the celebration in 1907, and their schools and all state offices will also be closed. Of course, don't forget that until 1820, Maine was part of Massachusetts. Now, I also want to add that Wisconsin and then 3 years ago, Connecticut, both recognized Patriots Day as a holiday. But in those states, schools are open and state employees are at work. Council on Aging here in Littleton will be closed on Patriots Day.
Yes. Well, other than that, I'm getting ready to go outside and play in the yard. I like to dig it up and start all over. I don't know about your yard, Bob, but over the years, mine became sloppy. I kept letting it grow, but I can see it's time to get my act together and clean it up. This is probably a good time to do it. No excuses. We are trapped in our spaces because of pandemic. The warm weather is coming and we need to get outside. So while I was walking through my dreary little gardens, I took a trip over to Cataldo's. And what a good way to have our spirits renewed. The decorations are always beautiful and inspiring. Cataldo's always looks like the place to come to get a little cheer. Decorations are the theme of the month and every holiday, and in between. This time it was Easter with all the bright spring colors like bunnies and more bunnies and flowers. Dale Cataldo gave us a tour and some planting advice. Hi, today I'm here with Dale Cataldo and Jack Wagner at Cataldo's Nursery. And we're going to have a little tour and we're going to talk about what plants we should be talking about right now to start everything with. So here we are. Who wants to go first?
Well, I can start off because we just received our first truck of nursery stock outside. I just finished moving stuff in, so the season has definitely started. Inside here, the greenhouse, we're preparing for Easter. We've got our Easter lilies, hydrangeas. We have a lot of colored plants coming in, ready for, to celebrate the Easter season. We also have pansies coming in soon, which is definitely a harbinger of spring. You can't get anything brighter than pansies, and they work really well. And so we're ready for spring here. I've got people coming in every day, just coming into the greenhouse, just want to be warm, and they love it in here because it smells so good.
Yeah. I love what's around the whole place because I feel like coming here gives me all kinds of cheer, It looks so beautiful. I didn't know where to start, and I don't know where to finish, so I'll probably take a couple of tours around just to look at everything. And, I see you got it decorated for Easter. And that's the other reason why I like to come here, because every holiday you have the most beautiful decorations. People should come in just to smile.
Thank you.
Anyway, right now aside from all that, which I still want to look around, but I'm thinking about planting and shrubs and flowers and what we start with, because I love gardening. I love digging in the dirt. I've always liked to get dirty. Mm-hmm.
Well, the perennials are a good place to start because a lot of them can take the cold. People want are talking about annuals now, but you really can't plant them till the end of May. So you start with your perennials, and then you get some different flowering times on your perennials. So start with the early flowering, leave spots in your garden so you have room for your later blooming perennials. It's good to pop in every few weeks, see what's in bloom, and then when you finish your garden, you've got something blooming throughout the whole year.
Wow.
So
I love that.
yeah.
What I love is someone once said to me that my garden is patchwork, only because I like lots and lots of different flowers. I don't have one particular favorite
Yeah.
because I love them all and I don't care how many colors are in there. But I really need now, I've had this garden for too many years where it's starting to look, you know, overgrown.
It's a classic problem, and I see it all the time. People will come in and say, I love all of my plants, but I don't love them. They're not speaking to me. And most times, what most people do wrong, in my opinion, is the fact that they don't have something to continue the entire garden, to say this is one garden, one plant, one color, one texture. That's where a lot of people, myself included, I come in here and I fall in love and I take a baby home and I don't know where I'm going to put it, you know. But if you stop and think about the plants that you have, maybe you could rearrange a few, add a couple to extend your garden and tie the whole thing together. Bang! Now you've got a garden as opposed to just a collection of plants. Yeah. It all depends on your need too. I mean, some people, that's fine. I tend to be one of those people that buy a lot of stuff and have a kind of a pile of stuff. And some people need their life a little simpler and maybe just a straightforward sort of prairie style or something like that. It all depends on what you want to do, what your time level is, what kind of plants you want to use. We can find something here to make work in your garden the way you want it to go.
Wow. What about newcomers to planting?
One that is I'm really excited about. The Knockout Rose series of plants has this new one called Petite Rose, and it's not a shrub rose. It is a front of the garden rose. It's only 18 inches tall and 18 inches red, and it is red, white, and blue red. It is just a spectacular plant. I can't wait to get those myself for my own garden. Something else new we're going to be bringing in this year we haven't had in the past are Asian pears, which are the big apple-looking kind of pears. They're very hardy in New England. I've been extremely successful selling them. They're going to be new here. I think people are going to get excited about those because you pay a lot of money for them at the grocery store, and you can have them right in your backyard, pull it off, and away you go. Great, great plant. Another one I want to point out, which is, it's not new, but I love to sell it, is a 4-in-1 apple. It's got 4 varieties on one stem, and all 4 pollinate each other. And I think that's really popular with people that have young children, and it's a good way to explain how apples are made. You know, there's a lot of science that can go on with that, why you need different types. And if the trees are kept small, your kids can run out and grab a Red Delicious or grab a Macintosh when they're ready. And that's how you get kids excited about planting. That's how I liked raspberries. I liked radishes. That's what I grew as a kid, and I still grow those. And I think if you get them hooked early, then you're a gardener for the rest of your life.
Right.
We've got people coming in quite often here that say, I haven't gardened since I was, a young person. With COVID, they're like, I'm home. What can I grow? What can I grow that's easy? That's the first thing. There's all kinds of things like string beans and peas, very easy to grow. Tomatoes are easy to grow, given a little bit of care. So just with a little bit of education, which I think all this is about is education, we can get people up and running, give them a really good product, an awesome plant, and have a beautiful yard. Because we're going to be home even this year. We're going to be hanging out,
Yeah.
So let's make it as pretty as possible,
Oh, please.
Hopefully not.
But I did spend a lot of time in my garden this year because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it kept me going, and it was fun because, you can be on your hands and knees, or not if you're older. You can use a chair or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Raised beds are great for people that are wheelchair bound. You can roll right up to it, sit there and work. I think those are really nice, especially for vegetables and things.
yeah,
Yes.
I like that idea too. Also, some people need small gardens because they don't have the space, or a lot of seniors who are in senior housing
yeah.
have maybe window boxes or a small little lot that
earth
they can.
Or even
boxes.
just a courtyard garden. You see
Yeah.
some assisted living that have just a little courtyard, and they're like, I just want something in there. Again, that little Petite Rose, you did a couple of those and maybe a hydrangea, you got a fabulous little garden that's going to give you color from the middle of May right through into the fall, with like just a couple different plants. So if the customers come in and they tell us their situation, we can always find a plant that'll work.
Yeah, I like that. Also, but sometimes people have trouble because they don't know how to grow things and probably have a disaster. So what do you do about
Well,
that?
they can come in and ask. We've always got somebody here that can diagnose a problem. If it's an insect, if it's a disease, talk to them about how they're watering the plant. Talk to them about what the light requirements are. They may just have the plant in the wrong place. So we can, ask them what their situation is and help them through it.
Wow.
So.
And that's what makes Cataldo special to a lot of the other places, because we do have a lot of knowledge here. And people come in and ask Dale, ask me, ask people, I'm having trouble, have you experienced this? And we go, yeah, we have, And that's where a lot of places that are, let's just say, really, really big, don't have the time for that.
Right.
And we
right.
do, that's our specialty, that's what we're all about here.
Good. Well, I will have to come back because I hope you know about ficus trees because I've got two.
And they are fussy.
And this guy,
Sun, and don't overwater.
And don't get them a draft, and they don't like to be moved. They've got all kinds of.
I'm in trouble. It's dropping its leaves
Yeah.
and
Did you move it recently?
well, we move it in the towards winter to put it inside.
Yeah.
And then it will go outside in end of April or
Yeah.
May.
That's-
Outside it loves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our homes are dry here in New England from our heat, so it sometimes the plants have a hard time getting through the winter.
Yeah.
They need some humidity.
And if you bring them in from outside in the fall, you're going from a highlight situation to a low light situation. A lot of those leaves have to be dropped off so they can make new leaves that are thicker for a shady environment. And then you take it back outside again, it's got to drop those leaves to grow new leaves because there's more sun. So you kind of get into that cycle. And once you know that, you can anticipate that, and then you don't have the problem.
Good, good. Well, I feel like I'm getting a wealth of knowledge right now, but what else can we? You have a plant out there that's you called it what you don't water it. It's right as
air
you come
plants.
in. An air
plants.
plant. I thought that
Tillandsia.
was interesting.
They are interesting, yeah. They do need a little bath once a week because they do need moisture, but they don't want to sit in water. They don't really like a lot of humidity, but they grow,
Do they get big, or just?
not really. They do grow, but they're slow.
I do have a friend of mine that has about 6 or 7 he's had for like up to 10 years.
Yeah, well, that-
And they do
Yeah.
go. So once you get that proper
slow.
spot, when you find the right spot for it, you put it in there. It's the right plant, the right spot, and it'll continue growing, and they will blossom. So
Oh,
they can be long-lived. Yes,
They're
definitely.
just slow.
They're just slow.
We have to show a little piece of that because it is such an interesting looking plant, and to know that you don't have to be over it all the time is it's good for any person trying to garden.
Right.
And so, what kind of shrubs should we be looking at right now? You have
Depends
anything?
what your preference is, what you're looking for. They all have their bloom times. You might want to put in something that blooms early. The Pyres, the Andromedas are already starting to bloom.
The buds are out on these azaleas.
yeah.
We've got some rhodies with the great big buds. You can see the first ones are starting. Actually,
Yeah,
there's one of them
starting
like
to pop.
starting to pop a little
But-
bit, which is
But these come from a little further south,
Oh.
so they're a little bit ahead of our plants that are planted here, but they're okay to put in the ground if your ground's not frozen. We still
yeah.
have areas of our yard that may be frozen, and we have areas that are thawed.
Is it
So-
okay to plant right now because we're looking at such warm weather after such cold, and will we get some more cold or will it matter?
Probably.
I guarantee you we'll get more cold because
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're bringing plants in. But it does happen. You can put in perennials and trees and shrubs as long as you can work the soil And you have to remember that the ground, it could potentially still be quite frozen down below. So dig your hole first and make sure that you're ready to go to go in there. And then it's just a matter of taking care of it and watering it properly.
Okay.
It's just like any other plant. If you put it in August, it's going to take more water than if you put it this time of year. It's just a matter of where it is and what time it is.
Okay. So is there anything else that you feel we need to tell our audience? Because, I might have forgotten something.
Yeah, if you're going to garden, enjoy it. Don't make it a task. Do it for the enjoyment of it. Don't worry about everything being perfect, and let the plants grow.
Okay.
I always tell people that it's your universe. It's not mine. It's not Martha Stewart's. It's yours. So if you like it, fantastic.
Great.
If you don't like it, come talk to us. We'll find something different to put in.
Well, I love it, and I'm going to be talking to you, I imagine, because I intend to get to my garden and probably take them out and start all over again.
Don't give up on everything.
But
you may want to just relocate them or get something that has a repeat so that you have some continuity.
and I love seeing them come back the next year too.
Yeah.
I do like perennials.
Yeah.
But of course the annuals, there are some beauties that you want to throw in there anyway. But yeah, I may take some pictures and bring them back and say, help.
Absolutely. Picture is worth 1,000 words. I have
Yeah.
many customers come in and do just that, and we can design stuff on the fly and make suggestions. Absolutely. Pictures on your
Yeah.
phone, iPad or whatever, awesome.
And also notice how much sun you have in the spot you're looking for, because that helps us to pick out the plant that's right for the spot.
Oh.
Is it east? Is it west? How many hours of sun do they get? Does that location get where you want to put your plant?
Well, I better go home and study.
Yeah, pay attention.
I appreciate you being with us today, and I imagine that sooner or later I'm going to be back for maybe fall to ask questions. But I do appreciate it. The place is gorgeous. People ought to come in and just walk around and look for something they'd like to buy. But
We like visitors too. Yeah, we
little
do. Yeah.
minor detail.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you again.
Okay, thank you.
And
Yeah.
we will be seeing you. And thank you for watching. Il Forno never lets us down. Our St. Patrick's corned beef and cabbage lunch was delicious and very well received. 100 seniors received this lunch to go, and we all enjoyed their hospitality. We hope to continue working with them on future lunches.
Now this April, we found a lucky number 13 because Littleton Light and Water is sponsoring a lunch to go at El Forno Restaurant, 59 King Street on Tuesday the 13th. The luncheon is drive-by and pickup. Individual meals consist of turkey and gravy with homemade mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, stuffing, bread and butter. Now you can register for the luncheon by calling Littleton Light and Water at 978-540-2222. And Barbara, you were telling me they do this every year at this time.
They do. It's for the seniors. Actually, the seniors in Littleton and Boxborough. And they were kind of worried about it this year because of the pandemic, of course. So they thought it over, and because we were having such great luck with Il Forno, they decided to use them also. And so they're going to have a luncheon for 200. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are keeping the tradition going anyway.
They've only been in town for 2 or 3 years, and they've done so much.
They have. They're very good,
Really
and the
community.
food is excellent.
Yeah,
So, yeah, you have to go there.
I do.
Good. Well, the Friends of the Council on Aging continue with flowers for seniors and going door to door to deliver them. It has become a full-time job, and we welcome volunteers who have come to help with delivering or flower arranging. So thank you to Sandra Casal, Martha Wright, and Ginny Cormer for helping with arrangements. The Rotary's Volunteer Committee and Garden Club have given us people who are delivering flowers. Selectmen Paul Glavy and Chuck DeCoste came to help. So thank you to all who think it's a worthwhile program and are giving us their time. We are enjoying the notes telling us it brightened someone's day, and we hope to give all of our seniors a brighter day. 400 have been delivered, and there's only 2,600 to go. If you want to volunteer, please call me, Barbara McRae, at 978-263-7905. Now, for the Council on Aging, windowsill dolls are next for you crafters. The craft class for April is another grab and go with everything you will need to make a windowsill doll, including instructions. Cost is $3, and you can pick up kits in front of the library on April 14th from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. A grab and go will be sponsored by a grant in collaboration with Boxborough and Acton, and this is to celebrate Earth Day. It is a surprise package. Pick it up in front of the library on Thursday, April 22nd from 11 to 12 noon. Now there is a limit of 40, so sign up at the EHS office to register by calling 978-540-2470, and this is a free program. Another mystery bag is coming on April 12th, and then again on April 26th. Pickup is in front of the library between 11 and 12 noon. 20 bags will be available, so sign up for one or both at the usual number, 978-540-2470. But please complete the online waiver at the address shown here on your screen. Thank you to Anne-Marie Chernovsky, the creator of these mystery bags, and these also are free.
Now, if you miss live musical performances, you can find them online at Indian Hill Music. There are performances by small ensembles from the Orchestra of Indian Hill and conductor Bruce Hangen, as well as other performances from great musicians. Indian Hill's latest ensemble's performance video features co-principal violinists Amelia Hollander Ames and Peter Solsky as they play Mozart. You can watch this performance and all other Indian Hill performances and their interviews by going to their website at www.indianhillmusic.org and then go to performances.
Mark, Kirby, and Judy keep our cable station up and running, delivering news from different organizations and meetings. This is how our show is brought together to give you the best from Littleton Common and what is happening in the senior community. Bob and I tried to go outside the box by looking for information from all organizations and businesses in town. Doing this has given me an education on what people are interested in and who is doing what. Our Nancy Hilsinger is our best friend ever, editing what we do and making us look professional. Mark covers Littleton sports programs such as football, boys and girls basketball, and a student volunteer, Damon Abetz, covers volleyball, basketball, and football for Neshoba Tech. This has been important because we aren't allowed to attend games in person at this time. LCTV's Kirby Dolak spends part of his week in Littleton and then in Boxborough, assisting with their government programs. Something new for our Zoom government programs, now there is closed captioning. This was important to us. LCTV is proud to be a part of the Littleton community and is always working to bring you the best of Littleton. Every year, our garden club members continue the Arbor Day tradition by bringing trees to the 3rd grade students, and they can plant them in their yard and care for them. This year, it will happen on April 30th. Many in the past have seen their trees grow to full size. The last Friday of April is the usual day to celebrate in the U.S. and is marked by the planting of trees, emphasizing caring for them as a way of caring for our planet's natural resources. While other holidays celebrate the past, Arbor Day looks to our future, and often someone will dedicate a tree to a loved one. Thanks to the Garden Club for keeping this great tradition alive in Littleton. And thank you to the Shade Tree Committee for donating the trees.
Bill Vale's virtual internet presentation via Zoom in April includes a variety of subjects. The initial April class is on the 8th and will be about Google Drive applications. On the 15th, it's sharing info on the internet. Then on the 22nd, the topics include map applications, Google Map, Google Earth, historical maps, and wetland maps. And then on the 29th, telephone scams, internet phishing, and call blocking systems. You can sign up for these meetings by calling the COA at 978-540-2470. Give your name and email address. Before the meeting, you'll receive an email with the Zoom link that will connect you with the browser. Now stay with us when Littleton Veterinarian Clinic's Dr. Dawn Brooks brings us tips on caring for our pets.
So today, we have to worry. It's spring, and spring brings along lots of ticks. Everybody has a story about a tick, whether you pulled it off your own pet or off a person in your family, and ticks usually make us crawl. They're kind of disgusting little creatures. But what's worrisome about them is they do carry a lot of diseases. The most common one that we know about is Lyme disease. However, there are other diseases that can infect our pets. And so keeping them protected is our #1 priority. Your doctor oftentimes will talk to you about different types of protectives you can use on your pet in order to make sure that the ticks are not able to stay attached for very long. Remember, ticks live through different life stages. The ones that you find on your dogs are usually the adults. Most commonly, the females that get bloated and kind of grayish tan color. Those that are attached for up to 5 days before they are done feeding will fall off your dog and go lay babies. But the ones that you miss are the life stages. The itty bitty babies will feed on the ground dwellers in your yard, your chipmunks, the mice, maybe even squirrels. The next life stage will feed on your pets, sometimes even the wild animals, your squirrels, sometimes turkeys, small mammals like rabbits. And the adult ticks really prefer deer or some of the larger animals, you and your ticks, your dogs and cats as well. The problem is that any of those life stages can transmit disease and can do so within 24 hours. They'll stay on for 24 hours and then fall off, and you may never know they were there. Some of the products in the market that have been there for a very long time, such as Frontline or Canine Advantix, they have a long safety history. They've been out for decades. However, they don't work consistently from day 1 of the month to day 30. So most of us notice a lot of tick attachment toward the end of the month. For that reason, they've kind of fallen out of favor with most of the veterinary community. There's a collar called the Ceresto Collar that works just like your Frontline and your Canine Advantix, except instead of a monthly dose on the back of the neck of the dog, it comes out of that collar and treats your dog from head to toe. Now, all of those 3 products contain an insecticide, something to kill the insect, and then a pesticide, and this is where people get worried. Pesticides are available in many over-the-counter products. You use them when you treat for wasps or ants in your home. You use them to keep pests off your garden vegetables. But the ones that are in the pet products have been tested at the level they're used on your animal and at higher levels to make sure they're safe if your animal accidentally gets too much. you will read stories about these products not being safe. And the one that's out there right now is about the Ceresto Collar and about deaths that may have occurred related to the collar. The EPA's job is to collect consumer concerns or reports. You can report a product may have caused your pet harm anywhere from the day you applied it to 6 months later, and it's the EPA's job to figure out whether or not that event is actually related to the product. Those deaths that were reported are happening within a time frame that is very variable. With the pyrethrins, permethrins, these pesticides in these products, we actually know what to expect. We also tend to have a very limited period of time after you put the product on your pet to when you'll see symptoms. So a lot of these deaths that may have happened months later, we really have to determine if there's a cause and an effect. For that reason, I continue to recommend using the Ceresto Collar because it's a great product. The other products that are on the market are these newer chewable products that your dog takes once a month. These are the ones that I like the best because you're not putting a pesticide on your animal. You're using something inside your dog's body that can kill those ticks for the entire month. They've actually been shown to be highly effective for those 4 weeks. And we're finding very few ticks on our dogs, and we're actually finding a lot less tick-transmitted diseases. So these are also have a warning on the label. If your dog has a seizure disorder, a known seizure activity disorder like epilepsy, you do not want to use these products. They have one of the 4 on the market was shown to potentially induce seizures, so we try to avoid them. However, if your dog is otherwise healthy, they're very safe. I actually use them in my own dog. I hope you found this helpful. Please talk to your veterinarian about which product is best for your pet.
It's time to smell the roses, so get outside and enjoy the fresh air and sunshine. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget our seniors.